Hi everyone and welcome to the BDA National Virtual Design Conference for 2020. It's a three-day CPD extravaganza. Firstly, some housekeeping. We're running 2 chat boxes today. I'd like you to say hi, let us know where you're from, put some questions in the Q&A. This event is we have formal CPD events for the BDAA. So those of you that are wanting to put the QR code in for the BDAA, please update your apps. We're being inundated by people saying they can't seem to register. I've just updated my app and it works. So please just update your app and it will work. And just a reminder for the people, obviously with Google, you go through Google Play. For the BDA non-members, what's going to happen is that you will be sent a participation certificate acknowledging your participation in today's event. So for those $99 ticket holders especially, we'll be allowing you to select another CPD presentation due to the technical issues we had with Brickworks. We will also send you a link to be able to participate and view the Brickworks presentation when that's available. We're really sorry about that. There was a technical issue with Zoom. It has been resolved, so we're moving forward. So next up, we have Ryan Knight, Managing Director of Vuco Glass. So Ryan will be taking you for a live virtual tour through the Vuco factory and be streaming live to all Facebook channels as well. So this is enjoy Industry 4.0 window manufacturing of the future. Over to you, Ryan. So now, Ryan, all you've got to do is hit your green button.
Unmute. Oh, no.
Ryan, we can hear you. We can't see you. Have you been able to find that green button?
Yeah, all good. Just getting there.
All
Sorry.
Good. It's all over to you now. Thank you.
Okay. I just got to turn this screen around. Sorry. There we go. I'll get my notes up on my cloud-based screen. Okay, so yes, thanks for the introduction. I'm Ryan Knight from Vuco Glass, Managing Director here of our business in Wagga Wagga. We've been a family business that was established in 1995, and we started off as a glass and glazing company originally, and then we turned into basically now primarily a window and door business. We manufacture mostly aluminium windows and doors, and our major partner and major system supplier is Architectural Window Systems. I've also got Murray, I believe, online from AWS, Murray Challoner.
You do indeed, Ryan. How are you? And I must say, ladies and gents, Ryan is one of our premium fabricators across the whole of the nation. So there you go.
Thanks, Murray. Thanks for that. So Murray will also be taking some questions along the way if you want to use the chat function for that. And Murray's an architectural specifier. So if you probably met him before, I'd say in your practices in New South Wales. He works closely with us, with our clients around this area as well. So just a brief introduction about what the business does and where we've come from, as we mentioned. We do the AWS systems. It was a family, or it is a family business. My father started it, my old man started it in 95, and then I come on board later in 95, and I've been with the business ever since. And I started to buy a stake in 2003. And now I'm the managing director, and Dad's partially retired now, so he only does 1 day or so a week. We have 37 staff. We have 3 staff based in Canberra and the rest of the staff based out of our Wagga branch. We have 1 manufacturing facility, which I'm going to take you for a tour through today. It's 1,900 square meters. 400 square meters is 200 square meter showroom, 200 square meter mezzanine above, and then we've got 1,500 square meters for manufacturing from there. So come for a tour. So in 2018, we were lucky enough to win the Australian Window Association Showroom of the Year. So we have 2 showrooms, one in Wagga, which is the award winner, and one in Canberra, which is about to undergo a renovation, and we'll have a new display in Canberra opening early next year. So this is through our showroom. We've got the majority of the AWS window systems on display. And this is open and gets used by people from all of our service area. We only service, or when I say we service a large area of New South Wales, basically southern New South Wales, ACT, a little bit to the south coast, into the highlands around Bowral and things, and also into the high areas in Perisher and Thredbo, out to Griffith, West Wyalong. We try and service an area that we're willing to go back and fix a wheel or a fly screen. So we don't service all over Australia. We just service in our little, quite large area from there. I'll take you for a bit of a walk. What I'm going to be talking about today is Industry 4.0 and where the touch points we believe it has an effect on our business. And it starts from our organisation up the top.
Could I just interject there, Ryan, for a sec? What made you want to go down this path for the 4.0 manufacturing?
So we started with the aim of, as we had grown quite a lot, we found that we were getting inefficient, but from 5 staff up to as high as 40 staff we've had in the business. So we found that we were getting busy, but we were actually becoming wasteful with our use of our time and labour, and we just didn't, our systems broke down. So we sort of inadvertently stumbled into Industry 4.0, trying to fix that problem of getting more efficient. Yeah, and that's what I'll explain a little bit going forward. Good question, Murray. So when we first started with AWS, they actually gave us this manual production board, which we still use. That board there schedules us out to 16 weeks roughly of planning. So we can plan in any works that we've been identified that are going to become a project from there. What the difference that we've done that we call Industry 4.0 is the last 2 weeks of that board becomes digital, and which I'll show you over here. We use a cloud-based organisation program called Trello. So here's Lee's our schedule manager, and you'll see on his board, he's actually got what are we doing in a day. So you can see Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just to show an example of dragging a card, Lee, how it might look to drag a card. So it's actually like a production board that we've got up there, but because it's cloud-based, anyone in the business can see as soon as someone makes a change. You get a notification that there's a change if you're part of that card, but you can actually see that on your phone, an iPad, or your workstation. So it gives us visibility in our multiple areas. You know, we could have guys on site at Perisher, and we've changed or made an adjustment or a comment on a job. As soon as that comment's made, that then goes live. So Lee will just show you now a production card, and you can see that using we integrate with Dropbox, and we can basically see production folder from anywhere in the business. So this could be on your phone or a workstation. Lee's just waiting for the internet to work. There we go. And this is a fab report. So it's basically given us one spot for all of the information in the business. Another benefit of this system is that as we've sort of gone down this path, we realized that we could actually do one of our big pinch points in the business, which was paperwork in a production line. So traditionally, when we first started, we'd make a window from the start to the finish. Now we make a window, which Michelle will just show you. Michelle is the camera person for me, my wife. Come over to say, Michelle. We've got, our factory is now set up in a production line. So what we would find is if we had a job, and we can have quite large projects, we could have the job existing in the front of the building and at the back of the building, and paperwork would go missing. So going to cloud-based has actually allowed us to now go paperless, so that we can actually have the guys on iPads see whatever live paperwork we're working off at any time, anywhere in the business, on site, in the factory. It only exists digitally, I should say. Michelle will just take you into the factory from there. So is there any other questions, Murray? We're just going to transition to another part.
Oh, as you're transitioning, yeah. So what this efficiencies in the business, has it had an impact on quality of life of staff, quality of mental health?
Yeah, it's had a really good impact on the business, because we feel like you've got a handle on things. You know, it's a game changer. It's great to be busy, but you can be very stressful being busy. So now, yeah, it's made, I think, across all parts of our business, everyone knows what they've got to do in a day. You know, we've got a target, and it's easy to reach a target when you've set one. If you haven't set a target, sometimes you don't know what you're trying to reach. So it's been a really good improvement. So down on the floor here, this is a bigger screen we use. This is where we have our daily meetings with the factory staff. So this is just one of the points where they can actually see what's planned. And as Lee changes anything upstairs, that literally just changes live in front of you on that screen from there. I'll take it for a walk. So that's part one of our Industry 4.0. We've got a bit going on out here today. We've got glass and AWS coming.
Ryan, just while you're out there, mate, they double glaze packs there on the left there. What percentage would you say of the windows and doors you make now are double glaze?
You preempted my next bit. Good work, Murray. We are around about 90 to 95% of our work's now double glazed. We do a little bit of triple, but mostly double, and we don't hardly any cut the size glass anymore, or single glazed glass in our window systems. And obviously with the partnership with AWS, the full suite of products can be double glazed. And then we've also got the thermally broken products. We service primarily mixed climates or cold climates. So it's either in Wagga, for instance, it's hot and cold with some nice months in between. Then we do up into the mountains where it's colder. Canberra's mixed, hot and cold. So the double glazing works really well for our climate. One of the things I was going to mention as well, all these double glaze lots are for projects. So on our app, we actually have a trolley here. It'll say your glass is living on trolley number 2. So the guys can just via their phone go out and work out where their glass is. So it's given us the ability to really organise our business. We've got AWS's metal coming in. Murray, did you plan that right on time?
Of course, Ryan, of course.
Yeah, well done. So our metal arrives up the end here. We order everything as a job lot. We don't stock a lot of stock material. So we order the colour for the client for your project. That means we can offer a lot of different colour options that we don't have. Oh, got no sound? Have you guys got sound?
I can hear you just fine.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
We can hear you, Ryan.
Cool. Just had a bit of feedback. Maybe there was no sound. All good. So we have the jobs job lotted. It gives us a chance to offer a wide range of different colours. What we do from there is and this is relatively unique for our business, we actually cut flat. So we don't store it. We actually cut straight from the box. So we've got to go over this way. So you can see here, Alat's actually sorting out his material here, and he'll cut straight from that box. We do have a little parking opportunity. If we have an NCR, or a non-conforming piece of metal, we do have an opportunity to cut the whole job. And while we're waiting for AWS to come back to us, if there's a bit of transport damage or something, we park it in the middle and then we bring it into the business later. But we cut the whole project and then park. We don't store and then cut again, because we found that was a double movement of hardware. So once we get back into the business, we cut from the material that comes in. We have 2 computer cutting saws, so CNC-based saws. This is our newer one, which is a semi-automated. So Alat's just going to run you through one. Alat, you good to run one through? So we download the cutting sheet to the screen. If you want to just show this bit. So the screen would already have the sizes in for the whole project once we move from a quote to production. And then the sizes come down to the saw. And this machine, we're just going to move, Michelle will just move back a bit. This machine's a relatively new cutting system. Get a little bit noisy here. It'll get a little bit noisy here, but this one actually automatically cuts the whole length. So you'll see here it runs the first trim cut. It'll actually run to the exact size it needs to be now. That's the size cut. And then that'll come off the end in a conveyor belt. So traditionally, that would be a manual procedure to reload, take that bar off and cut the next one and redo it. But in this case, this will just keep cutting the sizes it needs until the end of the bar's finished. And then that process is over, you reload a new bar. And over here, we have a barcode system. It's a blank one there, just printed. We'd actually stick a barcode. Oh, sorry, Alat's going to do one now. We'll stick a barcode on it. And AWS is working towards connectivity so that this will then talk to our other machines in the business. We'll move into our CNC area. Next step, so once the material is cut, you can see here, it then gets bundled up into items and then we process it. Traditionally over here on the left, we would use a punch to do the little notches and things that are required to put the window together. Punches are very, very fast, but they're also expensive. So one of those punches can be anywhere from 20 grand to $80,000. And they're fixed to generally the design. We've just upgraded to now in the last 10 years. CNC's become a lot more popular in the window industry and designers are designing around CNCs. Benefit of these machines is you can upload the change in design at any stage and manufacture a new window straight away. We've got two in. We've just put in a new four-axis machine, but this lets us move a lot quicker with technology. We can pick out if products are going to be popular without having to invest in an $80,000 punch. We can try a new technology, see how it goes. Another thing, while Malik just sets this machine up, we're going to run a demo for you. Thermally broken products becoming a lot more popular because of the energy ratings changing and also clients selecting more efficiency. So these CNC machines machine thermally broken product a lot better than a punch does. This tool was actually supplied to us by AWS, so they also partner us with their tooling as well.
And what sort of machining detail are we doing there, Ryan?
So this one's a door style. So we're just notching out where your wheels, where it would sit over your track, and also your panel holes to drill it together.
And I suppose the beauty of CNCing is just the repeatability and total accuracy you have.
Yeah, the very accurate 0.2 of a mil. And you don't watch that machine. So you can be doing something else while the machine's working away. So it gives you the opportunity, especially with two of them now, we can really get some flow through the factory. And with the thermally broken product getting so popular, we found that the other machine was running a dual shift. So by having the second machine, this one's a bit quicker. And also now we have two heads. So basically we've increased our capacity by around about 150%. So here's an example over here that I'll show Michelle while that's running. There's one that we presented. There's one we did a little bit earlier. So once we go through the CNC area, so ideally once we've got the connectivity finished, the material will be barcode scanned into that machine and it'll know what to do straight from there. Then we go into production line. So from here, we basically manufacture frames at the start of the line. They get parked. Then we manufacture, then we put the reveals on in the middle. And then at the end of the line, we go glass. On the left-hand side, we have our door panel area. So we make door panels, we put them in the door jig, and then they go on our trailers or trucks. And then on the right-hand side, we do our sashes. All along the way, we have a quality assurance that's digital and manual. So the guys will have a claim function. I'll grab an iPad up the front there. The guys will have a claim function where they claim what, hang on, sorry, Rob, just quick. The guys will have a claim function where they claim what window frame they've actually done. And we also have a manual one here, Michelle, where the sign off as well manually. So we've got a double cross check on our quality from there. This is our door jig area. So everything, once we make a panel, we put the door panels into the door, give them a slide and a run to make sure they're right. Now we work on a as needed delivery schedule. We do quite a lot of windows and doors and we really have minimal storage area, as you can see in the business. We're all about production. So basically we work back from the days required to have the delivery to when we start making the product. So at the moment, we load all of our products straight onto that road pod system, which is a A-frame that we then crane onto our trucks. I'm about to show you a presentation on how that works so we can load at floor level, but we even make the window that goes on first, so that we're trying to minimize our handling options through there. So the guys on their paperwork will actually see which product we're meant to be making first. Lockie, can I grab a pad? with a fab report, Johnson's. So when I say paperwork, it is digital. So that's the fabrication report. And we just have little either Lenovo's or iPads placed out through the business so the guys can see what they can do. Now, they're also editable, so you can actually mark with your finger like a pen if you've got to make any notes, and then that's only one version of that live fabrication report exists in the business. I'm just going to pause for 2 seconds here, and I'm going to present a little video of RoadPod working. Okay. Can you guys see a video?
Yes, mate.
So that's the old way, 4 guys to lift it off. The new way. We load the tray off completely. We've got a system where we don't have a flatbed. We've actually got like a container truck. So it keeps it as low as possible for unloading. And we just knock off with container pins. And we partnered with a company in Queensland called RoadPod for this solution. I'll go back to my screen now. Stop share. Should be back to live now. So that's basically
perfect,
that's basically a quick overview of how our production facility works. Happy to take any questions on as you go from there.
Yeah, not many's come through yet, Ryan, but I just must say, do you employ the lean LEAN manufacturing process in as far as everything's at hand, as opposed to I've been in some workshops that you got tools lying around everywhere, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, we do. So a good example of that is on our workstations, we should have how they're meant to look. So this is a good example. It's a good example with one sitting here that shouldn't be there, but we have these. So throughout the building, all the workstations have an example of what they should look like, with where you should have each minimum thing you should have on each station. So we go through, and that's a continuous improvement thing. One of the things we actually like to do, and we did a bit more of this when COVID wasn't an issue, we would run probably, I think I would average around about 1 tour a week through the factory with anyone who would like to do a tour. It's a good audit on yourself, because if you're willing to have anyone come through your factory at any time, it means that you're living up to those lean principles and that you are keeping the place clean and your walkways clean. And you might do a tour with the building designer and you've had a glass thing right in your way, and as soon as you finish that tour, you'll say, hey, we need to move that. So one of the things with lean is constantly auditing that process, so continually improving.
For sure. I've got a question here from Lisa Lockie. When will you have a projecting sash window available? So I suppose that's something I need to answer, Ryan. So
Yeah.
I assume, Lisa, you mean a parallel opening sash. If that's what you mean, we actually designed one about 8 years ago for a particular job in Canberra that actually didn't go ahead, but we are looking at bringing that back into play shortly. So fingers crossed, Lisa, we'll have one shortly.
Yep, good question.
Nothing more at this stage, Ryan. But I mean, you touched on the trends in the window industry. How much thermally broken product would you do now, and as far as compared to, say, I don't know, 5 years ago?
So I think our thermally broken product's gone in 5 years. I think we've gone from 15%, and we believe it is month to month and depends on project to project. Around about 40% now of our work is thermally broken. Yeah, and some months it's even higher than that, but I wouldn't think we'd dip anywhere below 40%. ACT is definitely a higher percentage of that because they're at a 6-star energy rating. New South Wales with basics, we're seeing a little bit more of it being required, but generally just to do the bare minimum in New South Wales, it's double glazed in our area. Double glazed, and maybe some good glass technologies like low E glasses in the double glazed makeup can generally get it by.
Sure. I've got a question there from John Hatch. Where do you believe the future of glazing will go, Ryan?
It's a good question, that one. I think already at the moment we're shortening the gap between where Europe and America already are, and I believe that's where we're probably heading. We always had very cheap energy in Australia, which has now been, we're basically matching what the energy costs of the rest of the world are now. So we're being charged what everyone else does. So I think we will go very close to where it is in Europe, but the double glaze low E super coats that we can buy now for not much dearer than what we used to be able to buy double glaze for is, I think that'll become prevalent. So I think that'll become standard.
Yep.
I don't know about triple glazing in Australia. It may take off, but I think we're still a little way away from that.
Okay.
Ryan,
I've got a question from Peter Cook. Oh.
Yep.
Sorry, Chris.
Sorry, Murray. We're going to have to wrap this up.
Perfect.
Ryan, because we've got other presentations coming.
Okay.
Murray, if you could make this the last question, that'd be great.
Sure, mate, sure. Okay, I've got one from Peter Cook, Ryan. Hi there. Being an old school designer, I've always used multiples of 300 millimeter in my sizes. Is this still important?
The 300 mil for us isn't that important, no. I think once you're trying to use standardized companies and suppliers, yes. But we've sort of based ourselves on a custom-made business. So, and we really are in the architectural market. So for us to compete or to be the most competitive is actually when it gets difficult for the standard suppliers. So we do, I don't know if you noticed, but everything's big and tall and large. And that's why we partner with AWS, because we can do 3 meter high doors and we can do 2 meter wide door panels. So for us, it's not as critical, but for a standard window manufacturer, yes.
That's awesome, Ryan. And Chris, you might want to, I'll hand it over to you.
Hi everyone. It's actually Sarah Jane.
Oh, sorry, Sarah Jane.
Seat swap right now. We've got our next event about to start. But all I can say is, Ryan, that was amazing. So interesting. I really enjoyed it, being a non-designer. So it was really fascinating. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thanks for the opportunity.
Oh, it's wonderful. So maybe, Ryan, you could just let everyone know how they actually connect with you on social and how they actually reach out to you if they do have any inquiries about, having some designs framed up.
Excellent. So yeah, you can find us anywhere. Web's the best way, probably. Buco Glass, or on Instagram or Facebook. Just look up Buco Glass and you'll find all our contact details from there.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ryan.